Hey guys, welcome to another Hollywood Hills show, and as you can see, it is the GXCC show because this is all about our coverage. An incredible job done by my boys, LiveX, making it happen as always. They went out there and they said this was one of the most fun events that they have been out there to film. Why? Because we went out to Dirt Trax in Middleburg. This is a venue that we know extremely well from working with the Farm Jam tour for all these years, but cool to see GXCC and Farm Jam finding that synergy to work together. They always do anyway, but this was just so cool. A varied mix of terrain, high speed, wide open. They used pretty much everything at their disposal and a couple of farms here, there, and everywhere around there to make the big loops count. But without further ado, this is the penultimate round coverage of the GXCCs out at Dirt Trax at Middleburg. You're gonna love this one. All this GXCC racing action driven by Dunlop is brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield. For the penultimate round of the GXCC's Middleburg, and in particular the Dirt Trax Facility hosting us for the very first time. This has been a long time coming, and GXCC are pumped to be hosted by Farm Jam and Middleburg.
Yeah, we're out here at Dirt Trax, one of the old famous tracks that I used to race on back in the days. Also Farm Jam have had a lot of their races over here. Obviously they've moved to a bit more of a technical terrain, so they haven't used this terrain in the last 2 years. So we're happy to be here. Awesome terrain. The guys that have raced here before, they know this terrain and bits and pieces of it, but the laps are normally shorter, and what we've done is we've combined all of the old tracks, plus we've got some new land that we are working with to put an awesome big lap together for the senior guys.
And with us rolling out of the racing month of October into November, it's Cancer Awareness Month, and as always, GXCCs have gone all pink on us once again, and our GXCC family are amazing at fighting this fight against cancer. It's all about awareness, and everyone was out there playing the game. Before the morning's event, we chatted to a couple of riders.
Die eerste keer dat ons hier is, ek dink dit gaan lekker wees. Oop baan, baie technical hier oor die meisies. Ek sien dit gaan lekker wees. So ja, ons gaan vat soos dit kom. Ja, dit lyk goed. Ek loop so ver met die punte, regional en club. So ja, ons moet sien lyk vandag. Ja, hier's redelik fietsers, is maar min. Vandag is dit weer 3. Maar is tyd kompetisie. So ja, ons kom daar.
About 2 years ago. So it's very different. It looks different. So I'm just excited to get back on the bike again. Yeah.
How's the championship going this year?
I didn't race 2 races, so the championship points isn't where we want it to be, but I'm trying to get finished and make up for the points that I lost.
So we've got Marcel here. He's on the C622 for today. I believe it's going to be technical, but I think it's going to be an excellent route. Looking forward to it. So yeah, Marcel, all of the best, bud. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Have you raced here before?
Not at Middleburg, no.
Not. So what have you heard and what are you expecting?
Technical, but I think it's going to be probably flowy as well, but technical. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, any race is a good day, or any day to race is a good day. So
perfect.
We'll just do it.
He said it. Any day racing is an awesome, awesome day. For the Q1s, small numbers, just 3 riders going out the gate. Franco Pretorius is the man with one hand on the big trophy so far, but the rest we're going to be doing the big chase down. The category to watch out for on the day we're going to be the Q2s that had a stacked field, but Pretorius would have no dust for lap 1. Q2s, Hannah Simon back onto the beast that is the hybrid, the 690 KTM engine. So no longer the 300 smoker. Hybrid straight to the front with Eddie McCow Jr. on his wheels. Q2s were going to be a massive fight once again. For the Quad Masters, the whole shot superstar that is Jaco Krikker once again went firing out, and he knew what he had to do because technical terrain is his forte. A lighter, smaller quad could be his advantage on the event. And then all about the veterans. The whole shot machine that is Brian Herbst gets it done, and check out how pink he went on the day. Full Dirt Nurse livery on the side of his 421 racing quad. Whole shot and gone off the front. Back to the ladies, and a predictable whole shot coming in for the 4x4. The lady who's trying to nail down her big championship. Just 2 rounds to go, this one counting. She was well on her way. Second place would be a dice to watch out for, and then just 2 entries coming in for the WOW class. Of course, since the last round, we saw the old school customs guys move up into their respective categories. So WOWs, we're going to see some new blood. Maybe a new winner on the tour. And then with the quads clear, we focus in on the juniors. A 15.9 kilometer loop for all the big dogs and the little kids to go out and get it done. First gate, senior 85s. All eyes were going to be on Clarkey, but he tends to hang back a little bit nowadays, allowing the rest of the dudes to go out there and clear the track for him. It was the famous 400 of Franco Ferri and those pink tires that got out and got gone off the front. 400 starting to look nice and tasty towards the end of the season. Clarkey slotting nicely inside the top 5. He would be biding his time. On the junior 85s, it's all about Bruno Niebuhr. He has really come to life, and he left absolute chaos in his wake. As once again, the junior 85s gives us the biggest entry of all the junior morning race categories. And one of the local superstars, GJ Kutsia, gets the job done. Jean-Luc van der Vesthuizen got hooked up off the line, and he'd have to do a big chase through the pack and straight into the dust. But GJ got out, got gone. It was Mackenzie Bam who was going to be in his dust. The Skippers along for the ride. For the 50cc's, the championship has been a 2-horse race, but on the whole shots, it's been one-man show that has been all about Declan Richards. Spare a thought for Campbell Duprier as well. He has been absolutely amazing about twisting that throttle and getting the hookup. Second place into the whole shot queues. But out into the fields, Wilco would make the pass early on and go after Deck. Before we climb the ladder, let's go back into the pits and chat to Vian about what he's got in store for the kids to start things off.
Yeah, so the junior loop was initially going to be just over 14 Ks. We had to change a section because we saw a lot of rocks on the way coming in. So we added an extra piece. So including the pit lane, they're looking at 15.9 kilometers, which is good. We always want to try and get just over that 15 kilometer mark. Junior track is going to start off, the first kilometer is going to be really tight and twisty, a lot of rocks. So on riders briefing, I'll have to tell them just to keep the pace down and make sure that they go over those rocks gently.
Kids knew exactly what they were in for, the junior wows. Gordon Gilbert gets the job done. Great to see Gordy going out there. And yes, that is King Kenny's kid, following in his father's footsteps. Onto the pro categories now, into the 50cc's. Record Liddick getting it done with Kellen Van Deventer into a number 5. Those little rocks slowing the pace down as the kids came into the pits, but also allowing mums and dads the chance to get up close and personal with their little darlings. Travis Levy has become a very polished rider, desperate to see what this kid can do, because he's going to be big like his dad. When he gets onto a 65, he's going to be a massive threat. But for now, twisting the throttle on the twist and goes. Levy into a number 4 spot. Campbell Duprier, even though he got a good pull off the line, dropped down into 3rd place. We're starting to see this guy come good and tickle the steps of the podium at almost every single round now. Love the fact that he went for the old school 4 Fast Boys pink kit. 3rd place for him, which meant once again it was a 2-horse race out front. And I do mean a race. The shot shows a bit of clear air for Declan Richards, but in the early stages of the race, they were banging bars and rubbing plastics the whole way, just the way we, and presumably they, like it. Maybe not the mums and dads and teammates though. Declan Richards and Wilco Deploy putting on an incredible show of form for the 50s. Richards, though, had to fade back as Wilco Deploy is carrying once again that second half of the season momentum all the way to the checkers once more. The GXCC 65s, cool to see all the kids getting out there and getting it done. Peter Mayer getting a little help from his friends on the side there. Thanks, Kev the Kid. A number 8 place for him. John-Luc van der Westhuizen, he got out the gate, but then he suffered a mechanical issue when his rear axle came loose. They had to do massive work in the pits, and eventually John-Luc managed to recover a number 7 ride. Werner Kleinams would have wanted more from this event, but eventually had to settle for a number 6 ride. That's going to really affect his chances of that top 3 in the title chase. The kids racing in a 5 and 4 place was an old battle that resumed some 2 years down the line. They used to find each other out there on the track when they were racing 50cc's, and now Matty Mayer and Derek Milan are back at it once again. Mayer takes a 5 spot, which means Milan takes one of his best rides of the season into a number 4. The championship points leader and the lady who's trying to be the first ever GXCC 65cc lady rider to get the job done. 3rd place, still coming back from that injury to her wrist. She'll be happy to get those points on the plate, but Liam Skierpers riding out of the CIT squad was absolutely amazing. The sleepover Honda rider coming good in the second half of the season, and he now matches his best ever result with a number 2 spot. But GJ Kutsia, who pulled the pin, got the cheese, and ran out front, was never seen again. He takes the big win on the 65s. Junior 85s, it's Hamza. Chris Jr. this time getting a number 8 ride going. And remember, he stays in 85s for next year. He's a big kid. Matthias Tienpont running out of the Team Gravity Racer squad. Shines a flag for himself and the squad with a number 7 ride. Hanyu de Kock, also a rider who was looking for better results this season, dropping down to a number 6 ride, so he clearly had issues on the day. Willem Buerter benefits though and takes it all the way to a number 5 with Drickus van der Merwe jumping up to one of his best rides of the season with a number 4. Jaden Els inside the top 3 once again, 3rd place, but those little legs really didn't help him out in some of the tech zones. You needed to be a more muscular rider, and that's why he got beaten on the day by John Bart Moritz. John Bart found a track dialed in exactly for him. He was good enough in the high-speed stuff, but perfect in the tech to Hank's tough to match his best ever result with a number 2. But Bruno Niebuhr, yeah, what can you say about the kid? He is absolutely charging, and I think it is a safe bet to put your money on Bruno to be one of the riders to watch out for all the championships in the junior 85s and senior 85s for next year. He smashes out another big win. In the senior 85s, this is where he'll be heading next year. Jean-Dre Vermaak gets it done into a number 8. Lohan Leroux, also a rider on his way out of the championship, going to go into 125s next year. Number 7 for him. Stian van der Heever was a number 6 with Franco Ferri. The big hole shot, the pink, left his tyres eventually, covered in roost and dirt, and he dropped it down to a number 5 with Reckard Webster, one of the local stars of the area, getting a number 4 ride going. Not too far off a good buddy of his as well, Nate Dogg, Nathan Sinclair. Those guys were smashing each other to pieces out there, battling over the number 3 spot. Webster dropped to 4. Sinclair took the number 3, but they were putting on a great show out there for themselves and their fans. Mitch Fallon, who's come back into this championship and really come to life in the second half of the season, riding out of the Vans Racing Factory Husky squad, takes one of his best rides on the tour with a number 2 spot. But Clarkey, just after nailing down his first ever national championship win in the 85s, backs it up with another GXCC win. He's pretty much got this championship sewn up tight in a bow now. Clarkey dominating here at Middleburg. It's not often we do this, but we chatted to one of our top juniors.
Today's track was nice. I loved it. Little rocky, but I always get it in all of the races. It's so much fun. And there was a lot of straights. It was fast and fun, yeah. I actually done well in all my races. I won every single one of them. And I'm not trying to win my class. I'm trying to get my time to be at Brandon. He's riding the 85 seniors and trying to beat him. So, yeah.
And how close have you gotten to that?
Sometimes I've won them. I've got once first overall from everyone, And yeah, it's sometimes minutes, seconds I come to him. And I mostly get every race second overall. Yeah, my team, I can't appreciate that much. Yeah, my team is the best. I love them. I love my dad and mother. They always help me with everything. Even with schoolwork they help me with. And my pit crew, they're the best. The refueling is fast, everything. And if there's a problem, they sort it out for me.
Yeah, we're teaching them young. Great interview coming in for Bruno there. Here's confirmation of the 85 big win coming in from Clarkey ahead of Fallon, his best ride of the season, ahead of Sinclair, Webster and Faree. Into the Junior 85s, we just chatted to Bruno Niebuhr as he dominated once again, putting over 11 minutes into John Bart Moritz, Jaden Alves, Drickus, Van der Merwe and Willem Buerter taking us to a top 5. These Junior 85s are getting faster though. Into the 65s, all about GJ Kutsia, his smashing win. That's really going to help him as he dominated out here at Middleburg, beating out on skippers Bam, Milan and Meyer. And on the 50cc gate, the 2-horse race, but it's starting to swing the way of Wilco Deploy as he dominates the second half of the tour, beating Richards, Dupria, Levy and Van Deventer. Junior Wows, all about Gordy Gilbert. Next up, we say goodbye to the little track and welcome in the big track that is for the quaddies.
Yeah, so quads, like you say, I haven't raced here for a long time. I think they're going to love it. I spoke to one of the guys that live in the area, and he said it looks awesome. Long sweeping turns, flat out stuff as well, a couple of nice jumps. But overall, I think the quad guys are going to have a lot of fun out there. First, for the seniors as well, the first 2 or 3 kilometers are going to be tight and rocky, but it's just going to help the guys to separate and find their spots, and then it's opening up. And yeah, they've got a beautiful copy that they're going to go up on top of it, down into the river, across the river. They're going to have some good fun out there.
Yeah, we got it all. Copy, forest, rivers, even a little bit of a motocross track as well. Chris Liebenberg ended up being our only finishing quad wow racer, so he got his hand on the trophy at the first time of asking. For the quad ladies, all about Kern Brits, the top Kawasaki getting a number 4 finish in. Not too far off the back wheel of Judith Cricker. Judith battled a little bit, she said, on the day. The big 700 was a handful in one of the more technical laid out tracks on the GXCC tour. Third place though keeps her once again inside the top 3 for the ladies championship with just 2 rounds to go. Celeste Berger, she came into this championship as a firm favourite. The last couple of rounds, it's been the big 4x4 that's done all the winning though, so Berger takes the number 2 spot, and Liesl Barnard dominating, switching between the 450 and the 1000cc machine, depending on the track, and getting the decision right every single time here at Middleburg, enjoying her time on the big Can-Am. Barnard on the top step and 1 step closer to the championship. The quad veterans, Johan Bronkhorst. Love watching this guy ride inside of a number 7 with Barney Barnard back onto his 450. Sways Blicknort, the famous rear view mirror, gets it done once again, waving the flag for the 4x4s. 5th place for him. That should see him sit inside the top 5 for the championship now as well. Darby DeVet, yeah, he battled in some of the tech zones, but loved unleashing his 450 on the more wide open and motocross sections of the track. 4th place for him. He'll be happy with that. He just loves being out there and racing. Francois Berger, who is the defending champion in this category, did not enjoy the tech zones. Said he suffered a little bit of fade. Wasn't one of his favorite tracks of the season. 3rd place for him. And he is hanging on to number 2 spot in the title chase. Up the road from him was a story. Brian Herbst running those incredible Dirt Nurse colors on his 421 Racing quad. Got the whole shot, but after that, it was a nightmare. A puncher, and then a broken exhaust pipe. The best he could do with a number 2 spot. But he passed almost everyone to get himself there. The one man he couldn't catch or pass was Francois Smallberger Sr. Since coming back into the quad racing fold, this is the first big win for Francois, so great to see him back on the numbers. Unfortunately though, that stopped any chance of Brian Herbst having the perfect season. In the GXCC Quad Masters, great to see the DeSanti once again representing. They hail from just up the road in Dahlstrom, so not too far to travel down the road to Middleburg. Fernando DeSantos getting a number 4 ride going on the L75. That meant it was Roxy getting it done inside of a number 3. Roxy has been large and in charge this season, both rocking out those big 700 Raptors. They got their money's worth out at Middleburg. Jaco Krikke not reporting any mechanical problems this time around, so did find a good setup on his quad and a good track to his liking as well. Pole shot, only eventually losing out one position after a fantastic day in the saddle. So 3rd place for Judith, 2nd place for Jaco. Krikke's enjoyed that one. Henny Macau Sr. though, no problem for him. He definitely enjoyed the varied mixture of terrain, a little bit of motocross, even got some air under his tires this time around. But he put some air between himself and Krikke to walk away with the win on the category. And then into the big dogs, the Q2s. Henny Blicknort into a number 6. Reinhard Ross, after having some mechanical issues on his quad at the previous round, improves to a number 5. Brian Dick, always consistent inside the top 3. This time around though, the pace of the top 3 just a little bit too quick for him, even though he was back onto his number 1 machine. Dick down into a number 4 ride. He's going to be battling to hang on to that top 3 for the championship now as we head to the final round. Tinus Kutzer has been one of the stories of the season on the Q2s, and I just love talking about different manufacturers. The big 700cc Honda has been close to unstoppable. 3rd place, this was maybe a more technical track than Tinus wanted. 3rd place though, he will take those points. But he did get beaten out by another Honda, and that was the 450 motocross engine hybrid version of the machine, the C58 of Henny Macau Jr. 2nd place, and he tried his best but could not get onto the wheel of the eventual winner of the class. But for Macau, even though he's missed a couple of rounds, he's still going to be fighting for a good position come the championship in just over a month's time. Hunter Simon for the last couple of rounds. In fact, since he came back from injuries, he has been rocking out on the 300 Smoker. This time around, it was a 690 hybrid, one of the bikes that he was very much involved in championing and developing to show what they can do. Hunter Simon back on the money, pole shot, clear run. No one saw him after the flag. He passed every single rider on his way to get the job done. Into the Q1s, just 3 riders going out the gate, but the cool thing was no attrition rate. We saw 3 riders reach the finish flag as well. Clayton Buerta, who I actually touted as one of the championship hopefuls at the beginning of the season, unfortunately missing into action for a couple of rounds. 3rd place though will maybe bring him back into the top 3 for the championship. He may well get a trophy come the end of the season. Marcelo Cilias, who made the move up, I think it was 3 rounds ago, out of the WOW class into the Q1s. 2nd place for him. He'll also be jumping up the charts. But the whole shot once again, and the Teddy aerodynamics on the Yamaha for Franco Pretorius. He ran the numbers off front in the early laps before getting caught by a couple of the Q2s. Franco Pretorius is odds on to walk away with his first ever Q1 championship in just over a month's time when we wrap up shop for the 2022 GXCC season. Middleburg was good to the Yamaha man. Pretorius certainly had a great day at the office. Quads in the bag at Middleburg, and we caught up with a couple of the riders.
Ja, nee, was freaking lekker geweest. Die straights en die goed. Like die technical. Was 'n bietjie water geweest, 'n bietjie af te koel, maar verder het die fiets 100 geloop. Geen issues nie, as dit klag gemaak, ek's happy. Het lekker gery.
And the championship looking good for the Q1s?
Yeah, Q1 still first. I'll check the points, but I think I wrapped up the Q1 championship this year.
Ja, nee, vandag was baie lekker. Heel dag moes ons heeltyd net die motorfiets spaar, want dit was so lekker. Ons kon onmaklik stukkend ry, maar ons wou net die wiele styf hou en die engine reg hou, sodat ons die dag kan klaarmaak, en ons het dit verskriklik baie geniet. Ja, ek dink ons is uit op die championship, maar ons doen hier die laaste 2 races vir die fun, en ek kan nie wag vir die laaste een nie.
Yeah, guys, today was one of the best tracks ever, especially for quad. Extremely rough out there, nice and rutted, a lot of whoops, and I decided to leave my Banshee at home today. I brought a KTM 690. It's a complete custom built quad that we built ourselves, own chassis, and we use a KTM 690 Duke engine in it. Yeah, unfortunately I had a big shoulder operation early in the year, and I missed the first 3 races, I think, but I managed now to win the last 3 overall and in my class, so hopefully I'm up there with the championship now.
Awesome. And we're going to see you at the last round?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether it's before or after the roof, so next up for me is the roof.
Cool reactions from our quaddies. Everyone had big smiles on their faces. They had a good day in Middleburg. Franco Pretorius, another big win, putting a lap into the closest riders. Hunter Simon, like he says, those last 3 round wins may see him climb the ladder as he beats out on Macau, Kutzer, Dick, Rass and Blicknot. For the Masters, great story where we see Henny Macau Sr. also edging his way towards another title, beating out on Cricker. Cricker's been amazing this season though in the number 2 spot. Veteran Smallberger puts an end to Herbie's clean run for the season. Herbie still in a number 2 spot, beating out on Berger. And then the ladies, Liesel Barnard ahead of Celeste Berger, Judith Cricker and Kern Brits with a quad wow win going to Chris Liebenberg. Cool racing in the morning session for our juniors and our quads. We now get ourselves ready for the afternoon event for the senior motorcycles. Don't go anywhere. Go time for the penultimate round of asking. 2 rounds to go on the GXCCs to crown club and regional champions. But before this, we already wrapped up the national titles.
Yeah, I wrapped up the national last week in KZN. Got the monkey off my back, obviously a big achievement. Only synced in after a few days, realizing you're the national champ, and it's only one. So, really chuffed with that. So now we're here at the regionals, hoping to fight for the win today as well. So yeah, all happy. Yeah, so Derek, I'm second in points. A few points, I think it's close. It's 3 or 4 points behind Derek. So yeah, we're looking to fight against him today. Obviously, we'll see. Best man wins. Big backing from Omari, the whole franchise company, Kawasaki team. Big backing behind them. They obviously get the bikes ready from Johan and Ivan as well. Get the bikes ready. This massive setup as well. It looks proper. So yeah, big thanks to Omari for getting us here.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew I couldn't come back as a professional, and I know I can't put in the time that the guys are putting in. So Ian said to me that I'm old enough to do seniors. What do I think? I said, well, let's go for it. And this year I just honestly wanted to just enjoy myself and just ride my dirt bike. And to be part of such an awesome team like Pipes and Plastics Kawasaki, it's just a privilege, and I'm really having a good time. And yes, this year at the Nationals, I was able to do a clean sweep, but yeah, I'm just super happy. It was really fun this year. I do believe Wade was there the first 2 rounds, and then I think he had his own missions and injuries and stuff, so he wasn't there the whole year, which is quite sad. But hopefully he comes back next year and we can have a good season. All wins apart from one, which Wade pipped me, I think, the second race. But yeah, other than that, really enjoying the regionals, the GXCCs. The guys are putting on an amazing event every time, so it's just nice to come and be a part of it. Yeah, absolutely. It's just fun. It's fun to develop the bikes, and also there's no pressure. There's no pressure to win. It's just we're all here for fun, and when we're having fun is when you're going fast. So if we're all going fast, we're all having fun. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the Nationals had a very good season. There was only like 1 2-time winner, Davin. It's a good competition the whole year round. I was able to wrap it up last week, Saturday at Natal at Virginia Trails. Difficult day out, but stoked to get the win. Yeah, my shoulder's a bit injured at the moment, so I want to try keep it on 2 wheels, not have too many offs, and still be fast and smooth, and see if we can win this championship. Yeah, just bring it home, try get podiums every race from now on, and keep it clean, keep it consistent, and try bring home the bacon. Yes, no, thank you to the whole Brother Leader Tread KTM team. They've helped me out so much this year. My girlfriend, she's amazing. And my mom and dad, thank you for everything they do. Without them, it wouldn't be possible.
Yes, finally, man. It's been a long year, stressful, and finally got the job done. So I'm quite happy the Nationals are over and done with. I enjoyed the year; it's been great. So we're here now. We've got 2 races left, and almost chill time. No, definitely. No, look, we're good mates. You can put it that way. And he's ridden well. He's done great this year. It's his first year of GXCC racing, and I thought he would do well. So yeah, it will be tight racing. It always is with Gaza. So we'll see how it goes. I think, look, we've got amazing backup. The support is proper, and like you say, the OR1. Whether we get to the last race and it's me or Garrett, we're out there. I think the results are there, and it's been great. The whole team has done well this year.
High fives, fist pumps all around. Now, it was down to the line to get out, get going, and get gone. As always, the big banger, OR1 450 Pro categories would be first out to set the big laps. Flag drop, and as always, Magic Mike good off the gate, but Cole was his match, and even better than that, Ron Smith was right there with him in the early running. Cole got a sweeper around the outside and would lead out into the field, meaning that Mike would be tasting a little bit of dust, a rare thing for him. Watch out for the number 20 on the Honda as well. Eric Merry jumping up onto the big dogs. Into the OR2s, the local superstar had a ton of support. He got the whole shot, he got the cheese, and he ran out front. No one was ever going to see him again for the rest of the day. Devin Smith, the Devastator, dominating already. OR3s, and no one could call this, but we knew there was some good blood back into the fray. Only 2 weeks back on his bike, Dav Conker was firing on all cylinders, but was the fitness there? The National the weekend before showed that it was, but he had a lot of talent lining up behind him. John Buerta, Taki Bogiargis, Matty Wilson, the newly crowned champion, and a former GXCC champion holder, Karam. Then onto the high schools. This is just blowing up because we're going to see a ton of 85 jump ups going out there. Bester got the big hole shot. Björn Wenzel got stuck in the dust. It was going to be a war to see who was going to walk away with this one. For the moment, on the championship, Derek Karam is looking good. Seniors, and everyone was watching to see if Kenny G could go clean sheets. He's already won by wrapping up and winning every single round of the Nationals. Now, could he do the same thing for the GXCCs? He had, as always, Kochi on his wheel, and the local superstar, Milan. For the Masters, Warwick van Schalkwyk good off the pull, also in incredible form since jumping up onto that Kawasaki. But here, it's all about the Viking. He knows what to do in this terrain. He's done a ton of events out here, and Kirbyjohn would be one to watch out for. But Farmer had swung a leg onto the 450, said it was the strong bet for this event. Onto the veterans, and a very rare hole shot coming in from Marty Poole and the Yamaha. He got the big cheese. He would see clear air for a while, but he would get chased down in the race by Ernst Slabbert for Ruban Racing. Wade Den showing a little bit of a chink in the armor here. And then the pro ladies combined with one of the pro-am ladies. That was Natasha Tapuch, but all about Nicole Duplessis and Leah Haygate once again banging elbows. And then into the Pro-Am categories, VW Mastercars Hatfield pretty much dominating the OR1 Pro-Ams. And it's Maddie Sneyman that once again got the cheese as we sent all of the Pro-Am categories out there into the field, as well as the WOW class. We held our breath because everyone knew this was going to be a mixture of terrain, high-speed, lowland areas, a little bit of rocky terrain, a little bit of forest, and a whole lot of dust. But everyone was out there lined up knowing that this was crunch time in the championship. 2 rounds to go with this round counted, and everyone needed to bring it home. See the checkers and tally those points. A single rider going in, as has been the story of the season so far for our adventure class. Francois Bosch would have one of his biggest challenges to date. WOW bikes and new blood going out there into new terrain. Just awesome to see everyone out there supporting the event, as well as supporting Cancer Awareness Month. We chatted to Vian about the event and the story behind cancer awareness.
Yeah, every year, October, it's our Cancer Awareness Month race that we're hosting. So yeah, everybody's dressed in pink, and you can see from the crowd, everybody's got pink spokes and tutus and little wings and all of that. So, you know, I think it's a good cause for all of us to get together and give back to cancer again. We've been very fortunate with VW Mastercars coming on board to also help with a sponsorship for Sandy Pitcher-Skill that's in dire need of a proper wheelchair. So that's been delivered to her, and she's ecstatic, and it's going to make her life a lot easier. Some of the other funds that's going to be coming in here for the pink ladies class that's going to be racing today. Motorsport South Africa graciously said that they'll donate the license fees to the Cancer Association. So that is just absolute brilliant news, and we're glad to be part of it and be able to contribute.
Pink Ladies giving us a chance to see some of the mums and daughters, girlfriends and supporters. Their chance to go out there and ride the same tracks as the boys and girls.
Yeah, you know, always we say the quads go out and they clear the track for the senior two-wheelers. Again, that's going to be the case today. They're going to show the guys the lines and probably kick one or two little stones out of the way. But they're going to have to be very focused. Like I said, the first 3 Ks is going to be really rocky and bumpy, washaways and that sort of stuff. You don't want to spill it there and then throw away a possible championship. This time of the year, you know, every point counts, and there are guys that are really, really close to each other. So they need to concentrate out there and make sure that they stay on the line.
Pits went quiet for a moment as we turn our attention to the track. Francois Bosch, our only surviving only just. Thought he was on a 250 for a second. He was out there on that adventure bike. Did see the checkered flag though, but that was a wild ride coming in for Francois. For the wild bikes, we did see 6 starters and, incredibly enough, 6 finishers. Erhard Benedal, we've seen him a couple of times throughout the season, so we'll no doubt see him jump up into one of the Pro-Am classes for next year. Christian Swart was out there flapping the wings, as well as a great welcome return for Saran Meyer. Haven't seen her for a very long time. Hanko Pretorius was there, as well as a former GXCC high school champion, Adriano Catlano, who's been all motocross for the last couple of seasons, but came back to play. It was Cole Mayer, though, another former GXCC superstar that walked away with the Wow Bikes win. OR4 Amateurs, which is a category that was created this season for the kids, making the bold move up from the 85 pros onto the 125s. We see a lot of names that we recognize. Renico Dupria was there in number 7. Jean-Andre Famarki's first time out on the Kawasaki 125, 6th place, good result for him. Lowen LaRue has been in this championship since it arrived as well. 5th place keeps him in a strong top 5 for the championship series. Hansi van der Berg rocking it all the way up to a number 4 ride on one of the older machines out there, with Scott Fenter just up the road into a number 3. Fenter doing what he can for Yami, getting it onto the box. Jaden Boyce is another one of those riders. Remember, he's been out there privately funded on the Kawasaki on the 85s. He now jumps onto his spare machine, a 125, and a number 2 spot. But it's Clarkey, who, as we saw in the first half of the show, dominated in the 85 pros and also in the OR4s. OR3 Pro-Ams, great entries coming in on the Pro-Am categories. That's where we saw Francois Swart get himself up there inside the number 8. Xander Marks likes to go a bit quicker. The tech nature of this track for the Gas man, slowing his roll. Andrew Mostert knows this track from racing farm jams though, and walked away with a number 6 ride. Jean-Andre Bosch just ahead of him inside of a number 5. Getting lost in the dust a little bit as the traffic got wild after lap number 2. Albertine Pienaar has really grown in stature and confidence this year. 4th place will see him remain inside the top 5 for the series as well. Up the road and a good pickup in the mid-season for Ruban Racing. Estienne Kutzer looking strong and powerful. He can do in a full season next year. Ruben Strader made light work of the motocross sections of the track, but battled in some of the more technical zones on the C2 machine. 2nd place though shows that he's a well-rounded rider and is not far away from taking a win. But it's Teek Harrower once again who is staring down the barrel of a big number 1 plate in 2022. A pickup for the MCA Honda squad and close to unstoppable this season. Remember, if he wins the championship or any of the Pro-Am categories, win, they move up into Pro class for next year. And that looks like it's where Harrower is headed. Into the OR2 Pro-Ams, another massive field giving us huge numbers. Plenty to talk about. Bonnie Barnard Jr. making it inside the top 8. We're shining a light on a bigger catch of riders this time around. Marcel Swart into a number 7 ride with Tian Innes on the C185 into a number 6. Nathan Spiro dancing the back end of the Yami as he got onto the pipe there into a number 5 ride with another Yamaha Smoker, the guy who championed the brand in this category. Riding out of Old School Custom Racing, Gav Young making those long legs and arms count out here in Middleburg, 4th place with his best rides of the season. The monster truck himself, Jan Vermeulen. Very rarely see him stand up, and that's because he doesn't have to. He's got that style that makes the bike work for him, not against him. Softens the suspension up so he can just plow through everything. Vermeulen walking away with number 2 ride. 2nd place, and it's strange to say 2nd because he has been a winning machine so far in 2022. But Alain de Toy found a couple of problems out there on the course that didn't suit his fluid riding style. 2nd place though means he remains in the championship lead with 1 round to go. Alain de Toy on point still. So who walks away with the win? Rickers for sure, smashing the big win out of the park here at the closing end of the season. Shear surprising himself and many others with a buttery smooth ride out here at the Dirt Trax Facility. And the big bangers in the OR1 Pro-Ams. Big gate dominated by the VW Mastercar squad. Marius Lombard was there. Big Chris Harmser gets his big high five on Hollywood Hills. He's been looking to make it inside the top 6. Well, he made it inside the top 5. That's one of his best rides of the season. Now comfortable on the KTM 450. His good buddy up the road from him, Shane Nienaber, not taking him out on the start line this time around. So that was all good news for the big squad. 3rd place for him with Ash Engelbrecht walking away with a number 2 ride. Ash Engelbrecht catching us out at the previous round, coming back into the GXCC racing family, getting onto a Honda and getting comfortable. So cool to see a spread of manufacturers. 2022 has really been the arrival of the Japanese brands once again to go up against the might of the Austrians. But it was the whole shot coming out of VW Mastercars Hatfield and one of the most polished riders out there, Maddie Sneyman, looking like he's heading into the pro gate for 2022 as he dominates yet another big win. Pro-Am ladies, just our one and only Natasha Taput, but she says she's looking to move up into the pro gate for next year, so this was good practice for her. She went out of the gate with the pro ladies, but was scored in her championship as the Pro-Ams, so we may well see her be promoted anyway, as she gets a huge points haul here at Middleburg. For the pro ladies then that did complete the race, there was a little bit of attrition rate. Only 3 completed the full race distance to score on the podium. Colin Nebua for Rubine Racing into a number 3 spot. She'll be happy with that as she will hang on to a number 2 spot in the championship. Catherine Mostert though, the queen of the farm jams in only her 2nd ever GXCC, once again walks away with podium points and starts to get comfortable at the high speed stuff. Leah Haygate though, clean slate. Not every hole shot. A couple of hole shots have gone the way of the pocket rocket Nicole Duplessis, but every single checkered flag has belonged to Haygate. She put on a show out here. A little bit of motocross. Put some air under the wheels. Into the veterans class, Willem Swickers rolling out a classic Yamaha WR. Sean Farrow, not quite a classic, just an old Suzuki that keeps on tracking into a number 5 spot. Of Swickers and Farrow, Stefan Bagnall, always inside of the top 5. We always love that Evil Knievel decal kit that he's got on his machine, and he made it work for him into a number 4 spot. For Jeff Dent, 3rd place will be one of his lowest finishes of the season. The technical nature of the track slowing Jeff Dent. Wasn't comfortable in those zones. He was familiar with the motocross sections and the high speed. The 3rd place dropped him back. Body pull gets one of those rare pole shots. He'll put that in his back pocket and walk away with a big smile. And he only dropped 1 position during the event to finish a very strong number 2. Don't slap it though. Seems like a long time since we spoke about him on the top of the podium. But here, in the mixed terrain of Middleburg, Slabbert and Rubine Racing finally arrived back on the top step. And he was more than stoked on that one. For the Masters category, we saw a mixed bag of riders going out there, and this was mixed terrain as well, so we're going to see some surprising results. Peter Compain into a number 6 ride with Fricky Ellis just up the road, squeaking number 5 points. The Masters title chase was going to be blown wide open after this event, with a couple of riders who have been in the mix in the early part of the season somehow missing in action. For VW Masterclass Hatfield, Peter Jourdan clearly had gone down in the early part of the event. Some loose rattling plastics, but didn't seem to slow him down. 4th place keeps him happy on the numbers. Francois Swanepoel, in the early part of the season, he was running well inside the top 3. Dropped out the top 3 for a little while. He's back on point once again, trying to sneak his way back into top 4 on championship points. The good money was on the Viking, Curtis Young, to take the win here because of the fact that he is a tall, rangy rider and he has got that mixed bag of skills on high speed and tech. But he had to settle for 2nd place because one man was better, and it was Farmer. It's been a long time since we talked about Wayne Farmer coming to the top step of the podium. It seems like normal service has resumed. The difference though is he's on the 450. Very rare win on the 450 for Farmer. Into the seniors then, and we start to see those different manufacturers coming into play once again. Conrad Sieber walking away with a number 7 ride, with Stephen Kutzer taking in number 6. Nice ride for Kutzer, with Reino de Kock just inside of the top 5, taking solid points. Yanni Potgieter, who has been in and out of the top 3 the whole way through the season. 4th place though. Will be a low finish for him, but his pace has definitely improved as he goes at it. Once again, hammer and tongs with a sparring partner. That is the guy that is chasing for the number 2 spot in the series. Marco Cocci. Potgieter and Cocci, good buddies off the track. Enemies. When you get on it, you have to start banging the bars. So Cocci normally happy with the number 2 spot. 3rd place this time around because one of the guys with local knowledge, and he knows how to get the best out of his Husqvarna, and that's DJ Milan. This guy was throwing down lap times that would make a couple of the pro category riders twitch in their boots. Kunzi Milan, injury free and back on the money. But as always, we talk about the seniors and the Pepsi Plastics Kawasaki. It is the king, Kenny Gilbert, buoyed by walking away with yet another national title the week before in his comeback season, and he carries on at the top of the pile, with a few riders to go undefeated on the season. Into the high school category, where we're going to give the top 10 the big high five this time around. Kitleko McKinney, one of the riders we've watched develop through our junior ranks, starting to kind of just find his feet into the 125s. Cameron Farrell, same situation for him, as well as Ruan Opperman, who takes the 188 into a number 8 ride. Alex Strobler danced his way up to a number 7, and then this was a story. 6th place for Derek Karam, one of our championship hopefuls. Mechanical, and unfortunately a crash was the reason he was running slow. 6th place might not be enough to hang on to the championship points lead going to the final round. Keanu Fisser, it seems like just yesterday we were talking about this guy dominating in the 85 junior category. Now he's a name to watch out for, certainly for next year in the high school 125s. Fisser was number 5. Jason Leslie, polished rider, looks comfortable now, and definitely a rider to watch for the title chase next year. 4th place keeps him inside that top 5 as we head to the final round. That venue has still not quite been announced. To see if the rains arrive for that one as well. Josh Alexander, normally talk about this kid getting the big hole shot and then fading. This time around, no hole shot, and the climbing of the ladder. 3rd place shows that he has that mixed terrain. He knows how to pin it wide open and dance with the tech. Alexander will be super happy with that number 3 ride. Kawasaki kid, Leon Wenzel, didn't get the ride that he wanted this time around. Just shows how important, especially in the equal terrain that is the high school category, the whole shot can be key. Björn Wenzel, big high five for the national title. number 2 spot here, and because of Karen having problems, may well see Wenzel moving to the championship lead as we head to the last round. But it's Baby Bester, and Baby Bester no more. I cannot use that anymore because he is fully fledged, fully grown, and a championship warrior. Big win out here at Middleburg, where he cut his teeth. Cool to see Bester on top. National title, big number 1, his second of his very short career. He has walked away with the 125s in the past, and now takes the 250 OR3 category win, and that is Matty Wilson. 7th place here, so not a good day at the office. Matty Hills getting the pickup onto the Kawasaki into a number 6, one of his best rides of the season, and Stefan Smith, one of the guys that promoted himself out of the Pro-Am category last year into the Pro Gate. He took a number 5 ride with Peter Karam, a former 2-time GXCC champion, struggling to perform this year, having to walk away and settle for 4th place on points at Middleburg. Top 3 pinners, setting some top 10 lap times as well. Taki Bodiog is working hard on his form. A very good run of form in the second half of the season for Pepsi Plastics Kawa. 3rd place here. We'll see him still challenging for a top 3 in the regionals as well. Johnny B and Johnny B Good. John Buerta really looking strong in the second half of the season. I think he was a little bit sad that he couldn't get his pace going in the early part of the year. The second half of the year, the franchise Kawasaki rider has looked all on form. And next year is going to be a big one as we see him inside the top 3 in every event. 2nd place here shows how his form has improved. Welcome return to the Husqvarna Factory Pro rider on the 87, Dav Cocker, sitting out almost 60% of the season, having to go for that big knee operation and give it time to rest, give it a chance to heal. It's healed, he's back racing, and he's back on top. Small gate this time around at Middleburg for the OR2 pros, and a few riders falling out to the wayside with mechanicals and crashes. Jean Niebuhr, former Pro-Am champion, taking the big move up into the pro classes and finding his feet once again. The 911 from Rubart Racing in the number 4 spot. Brad Burrell getting the pickup at the halfway mark of the season for Old School Customs and getting onto the 4-stroke after being a champion of the Smokers pretty much all his life. 3rd place will give him his best ever ride. One of the big surprises off the gate at this round was Tyron Beverly, normally on a Kawasaki 450, moves across to the other side of the pits onto a Honda 250 to see what he can do up against the 350s in the OR2s. A lot of numbers there, but some of the best scrubs and whips on the day as well. And a cool ride. 2nd place, we'll see Tyron Beverly get that all-important confidence going. But here at Middleburg, no way anyone is going to defeat the Devastator, Devin Smith, in his home ground. Stays not too far away. And the Devastator, riding out of the factory Husqvarna Vans Racing Squad, takes it to the top. Big bangers. Once again, we're going to shine a light on the top 8. We haven't seen him on the show all year. Rudy Vieira makes the cut this time around, as does Jean-Dre Olivier. We'd expect to see Ron Smith running a little bit higher, but problems in the early laps dropped him down to a number 6 ride. After that, it was Dust Bowl Racing. Number 5, and this is so cool. I like it at the end of the season when a couple of riders decide to test their mettle, and a bold move coming in from Eric Merry, moves out of KTMs and Husqvarnas on the 250s and 350s, and up to the Honda on the 450. He was chasing down to see if he could beat the top Honda as well. Jean Wilkin was up there in the 4th spot. Even he wasn't the top Honda, but it is one of the best rides we've seen coming out of John Wilkin since he got picked up by the Bikers Warehouse squad in the early part of this season. JT Nienaber, consistent and solid as ever. Once again, echoing my words from a couple of rounds ago, the second half of the season is where Nienaber comes to life. Getting the pickup this year from the Pepsi Plastics Factory Kawasaki squad, and 3rd place. We'll see him running the numbers once again, potentially hanging on to that 3rd place in the championship series. It's been tough to get onto the back wheel of the top two lags though on this tour. That is all about Gareth Cole and Mikey Pentecost. Cole looked like he had maybe half a lap of clear air before Mikey put the pressure on and then put him into the dust. But Cole is a fighter and will never give it up. Second place still means that the title is not decided and will go to the final round. Gareth Cole riding out the sleepover Honda squad. Mikey Pentecost riding out of the Franchise Co. Kawasaki squad. They've been going at it left, right and center every single round. And Mikey just coming off, wrapping up another national title 1 week ago. Gives Kawasaki the big high five once again. Don't think he even had a chance to change his kit. He just got some new gear sets and took it to the podium. We chatted to our champions.
Yeah, on the first lap, Gazza gave me a bit of a challenge, so I had to push quite a bit. He got ahead of me in the start. Yeah, but otherwise, all in all, it was a fun race. You know, it was quite rocky, hard pack, different to what we just raced last weekend, very different. So, but yeah, I'm on a high and I felt good today. So, yeah, I think even after this, I mean, me and Gareth will still be very close. Yeah, big thanks to, you know, the team and Harry and my wife and everyone on board. And of course, all the glory to the Almighty, you know.
No, it was very, very dusty, and there are quite a lot of little lurkers out there as well. So from the second lap, we started catching into back markers, and then, yeah, I just had to take it easy. I did have one or two moments and got a bit scared here and there, but all in all, we brought it home. Mike was on it again today, like usual, but yeah, I'm happy with the second. We'll see what we can do at the last round, maybe try and get him on the last round, but yeah, no, I'm just happy to have made it through today unscathed, and yeah, still got a good result. No, of course, it's always good to have a good championship where you race right to the last race, and it keeps it interesting, and yeah, it keeps the hype up a little bit. So yeah, we'll try and get him at the last one, but he's really riding well, so we're going to have to up my game a bit. Yeah, definitely. They're always on point in the pits, fast refuels, and they always have the bike running smoothly. The whole season I haven't had any issues with the bike. So yeah, big ups to Harry and Johan and Ivan that work on the bikes. Everything has been perfect the whole year.
Yeah, today was amazing. It's cool that GXCC is by my valley for a race, so I know this place and stuff. But yeah, this was amazing. Long straights, a lot of sand, amazing sand section, amazing track. Well done. Championship is looking so far good. I'm in the top 3 now, yeah. So I will see the next round. Big thanks to Vans Racing Team for the pit crew and stuff, especially my mom and dad.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough this season. A lot of bad luck, but hopefully that's all out the window. I'm happy to be racing again. Last weekend was the first national back on the bike. This weekend, the first GXCC. Taking the win in both of them, and I'm just stoked to be back racing. Husqvarna, they've done their utmost to get my bike ready, and it's feeling 100%. Never been better. My team, Carl Enslin, all of them. Thanks for everything.
It was long, sandy corners. Could look at every single time. Just kept it flat up to the whole day.
And the guy next to you guys were close. So
he didn't make it easy for this today. Made it hard. Struggled, made mistakes. I give it to him.
Yeah, no, long day in the saddle, dusty day. Yeah, eating a lot of dust again, but I will. Yeah, I'm not sure where Derek is. If I'm correct, yeah, we'll see where Derek finishes, and then we can determine who's going to be in front for the last round. Yeah, just a big shout out again to Mary Grabler. He's a big part of the success, and then to the whole franchise company, all the backing and the support, and then just a massive shout out to my mom and dad and my sister back at home. You know, they always prep everything, and it's so fun to race here with them. Yeah.
It was, man. You know, we had our national last week. We raced the 300 down in Natal, and it was quite a big workout. Didn't have time to get the 300 ready, so we brought good old 450 out today. And man, the thing makes you tired, dude. Track was actually awesome. It really was. It was quite demanding in sections, got very looped out and choppy. And then you could just ease off a bit on the faster straights. But I mean, all very, very safe and all very good. But yeah, as I say, this 450 is a workout. These little arms need a good bit to the gym, eh? Well, I came in line 3rd. So obviously we'll just see off the points after today. We'll see how close we are. Yeah, so I mean, we're just riding to finish this year. and get some podiums, and a win today is such a plus. So it's such a plus.
Yeah, we did a few areas that we haven't done before, but it's my type of terrain, as you so know it. Yeah, my old friend stands, Casper. We used to race here a lot on the farm jams when it was still fast. So I recognized quite a few spots. It was like I enjoyed it. It was everything you wanted. There was rocks, there was ruts, there was fast stuff, flowing stuff. And thanks for not cutting the grass, we have to do all those turns, and then the motocross guys cream us. So it's been tight between me and Jeff. He won the double points. I don't think I can still catch him, but it's lucky to have a win again. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the Rubine team, always for their support. And when I come here in the mornings, 9 o'clock, the pits is up, and I'm the old one in the group with all these youngsters. Yeah, and thanks to Mark and Magda, and yeah, specific to my wife as well, else I'm in trouble. So yeah, thanks guys.
Here's a confirmation of the results as we go through all the classes. Mikey Pentecost, best on the day and best of the OR1 pros, ahead of Coley and Ninoba. Vilken, 4th place. Honourable mention for his best ride of the year. OR2 pros, all about the Devastator. You could have bet your house on the fact that he was going to clean up at Middleburg. He did just that, beating out on Beverly. Great to see him on the little bike, beating on Burrell and Nibua. OR3 pros, cool to see Cocker back and fully firing on action again, ahead of Buerta, Bojajis, Karam, Smith, Hills and Wilson. Into the high schools, a massive field, and so cool to see. That is the future. Bester beating out on Wenzel, Alexander, Leslie and Fisser. Karam, big problems for the championship points leader down in 6th. For the seniors, Kenny Gilbert, another dominating win. Look at the time that he put into the rest. DJ Milan, Kochi, Potkita, the best of the rest, ahead of De Kock. Masters sees Wayne Farmer back on the top step. Didn't put too much time into the Viking, but it was enough to take his first win in a long time, with Swanepoel, Jordan, Ellis and Compain rounding out the rest of the numbers. For the GXCC veterans, Ernst Slabbert back on the top step. It's been a long time coming. Marty Poole, his best ride of the season in the 2 spot, and Den, 3rd place, his lowest ride of the year. GXCC Pro ladies, Leah Haygate remains undefeated, this time ahead of Mostert and Nibua, and Tepuch takes the win in the Pro-Ams. For the Pro-Am category men, starting out with the Big Banger OR1s, Manny Sneeman beats out on Engelbrecht Ninaber. Big Chris Harmser, his best ride of the season, in a 4th place, ahead of Lombard. OR2 Pro-Am stacked field sees a new name at the top, Rickers Fuschier, beating out on Elaine de Toy, but look how close it was. There was only 23 seconds in it for the championship leader. Teek Harrower goes on to extend his lead in the championship tour, and he put 11 seconds into Ruben Stratum. Kutzer, Pinar and Bosch rounding us to a number 5. In the OR4 amateurs, Clarkey once again hammering the nail, putting huge time into Jaden Boyce, Fenter, Vanderberg and LaRue to the top 5. Wow class, Cole Mayer, cool to see him back, as well as Adriano Catalano, 1 and 2 in the Wows, and Adventure Bikes, Francois Bosch, waving the flag. That was Middleburg, and more specifically the Dirt Trax Facility out the back door of Middleburg, and it gave us some cool racing. Not too many of the titles have been decided, 1 or 2 have. We'll confirm them as we get closer to the final round venue announcement. For now, we bite our fingernails, hold our breath, and get ready. GXCC Finals. All this GXCC racing action was proudly brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield. So as you heard in my tail out there, we don't know where we're going for the final round of the GXCCs, but as soon as we know, you know. It's going to be interesting because not many of the titles have been wrapped up. It's going to be a nail biter, and potentially because of the time of year, we know we're going to be racing into November. It's probably going to be raining, so that will just change things up. Remember Delmas a few years ago? That was wild. So quite interesting though, and a couple of guys are rain meisters, so we might see some interesting situations come out of that. But right now, obviously, you know what went down this weekend, and that was the final round of the Farm Jams. So remember, next week I'm going to be changing this GXCC show into the Farm Jam show because it's the double points final round. It all went down this weekend out of the dam. I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers. LiveX are out there making it happen. They've been wall to wall on the edits for the last couple of weeks. So next week is going to be a huge one. I hope you enjoyed the big show that was the GXCCs. There's another GXCC show to come in just around about 4 weeks time. But next week, tune in. It is going to be the double header, double points finale of Farm Jam. We'll see you there.